Hey everyone, today I'm giving an update for our homeschool. I'm going to share what's going well, what's not going well, what things I've had to adjust, and a few things that I've had to kick to the curb. My name is Joy Cherrick. I am a homeschool mom of 7. I have 6 students this year from first grade all the way up to a freshman in high school. So let's dig into it. I have been homeschooling for 10 years and really have enjoyed every minute of it. It has been really challenging, but this year, as I've been using the Charlotte Mason method and really trying to deepen my understanding of the method as my students have gotten older, I have had a couple things that I've tried to challenge myself with. First, I've really been trying to work on our level of engagement that my kids have really been struggling, and myself too, to be not just rushing through our work, not just checking the boxes, but actually engaging with the material, digging a little bit more, restfully going through some of the different subjects. So that's one thing that I've focused on this year, and we can kind of get into how that's going, what's not going well there as well. Our biggest challenge this year has actually just been normal life kind of getting in the way of all of the homeschool plans and needing to, on the fly, make adjustments to our start time, make adjustments to how long we go based on, if we're out late one night. My kids had a fall lacrosse season that kind of got squished in there that we didn't know was going to happen. And that really put a wrench in some of our flow. So I needed to be nimble to be able to adjust to life, because that is the life of a homeschool mom, is this dance and figuring out, okay, what do we need to adjust so that we can still thrive? And then at the beginning of November, we actually had a surprise trip to go see my husband's family all the way on the West Coast. So I had to, again, make adjustments and figure out what our schedule was going to look like, what things needed to be shifted. But that actually has allowed us to have a much longer Christmas break, because we didn't take the long break we expected to take for the week of Thanksgiving. So the areas where our family is really thriving is, one, science. We have had such a wonderful year with science. We have a natural history lesson going in our 2-family co-op that happens on Mondays, and that has really opened up the natural world and also mathematics and also the study of nature, and kind of combining all of those things. So my kids are really enjoying that. But also on that same day, I'm teaching an illuminated manuscript class to the older students, and you can actually see my lesson plans over on However Imperfectly on Substack, and I will leave a link below. But what's been interesting about teaching that art class is that the care and the intentionality that has to be taken to learn how to write in a script. We're doing italic script. And then also, when you're trying to copy some of these really beautiful scroll work, that level of care and precision is actually flowing over into the other aspects of my kids' work. So that has been really cool, because then I can say to my students, hey, we studied this poem, or take a poem that we've read and go ahead and create an illuminated page in your commonplace book or in your TBG, or Truth, Beauty, and Goodness notebook. And then they actually have the tools to do that well, instead of me just holding up pictures and saying, copy what this other kid did on the internet. We've done a full semester now, and we're going to continue another semester of the illuminated manuscript study, where we're just learning any manner of things. But I'm just excited to see that that is really paying off, because we've really struggled with our handwriting with my older kids. We've really struggled with taking time and care on our drawings and on our work for school. So this is really helping us slow down and do a lot higher quality work. So the other subject that's going really well is science. Now, my 13-year-old son asked at the end of last term, can I do chemistry? And I just always want to say yes when I have a student who's really excited about a subject and I have the ability to connect him. So we are using the Neo Science kit, and they actually have a kit. You can buy all of it with the books and everything else. I actually ended up getting the Kim 2000. It's just a kit and it has all the chemicals in it and you don't have to like buy all the individual things. I bought that on Amazon and I bought the books, but then I bought the lab notebook from Neo Science, and that thing is a game changer because it takes all the books that are planned for the term or maybe the year. And then it shows you what day of the week you're supposed to read which chapter and which experiments you're supposed to do and where to find the instructions to the experiments. So he has been pretty independent with that. And I say independent, like whenever he's doing the experiment, he definitely pulls in all of his other siblings and they are all watching to see, what's going to happen. So that's been a really fun, life-giving aspect of our school year. One other thing that's been going really well is this year I split out my Form 1 students so that I'm basically having morning school with them while my older students are doing a lot of their independent work. Then we come together for about a 20-minute morning time where we're singing and we're doing our recitation work and that sort of thing. And then the younger ones are able to go off and be dismissed. So that's been really great because I feel like I've been able to get the readings in that they need. I've been able to help them with their art and help them at their level to learn to paint and mix colors and do their nature journals without feeling like I'm boring the older children. So like it's at their age level, the younger kids' age level. So that's been really fun. And I really love teaching the younger ages because it's so much easier and everything is new and they have so much wonder and joy. Overall this year, I'm finding that I am learning how to relax into our homeschool day and flex with all of the variables and changing circumstances that we have. It is hard for me because I love a schedule and I love a plan, and I take a lot of comfort in knowing what's going to happen. But what I found is that doesn't always create the relationships and flex that needs to happen so that my kids can develop relationships with the material that we're studying, and that I can also develop a relationship with my children by considering them as a person, understanding what their needs are, and then adjusting accordingly. So my biggest challenge this semester has been teaching my 6-year-old to read. She has been having some trouble just remembering letters. So we actually created this chart that has all of the letters from A to Z. And as you will see, we've created little, just animals to go with each letter. And she picked out the animal that she wanted it to represent. And then when she goes to read a word, she has that as a tool that she can just go to and say, okay, if I don't remember that letter, it's not the end of the world. I can just go to my chart and find it. And then that has really helped give her a tool, and it just was a lot of fun to create together. So that was a real win, but also, a real challenge for us because I was kind of going, well, I've used 100 Easy Lessons for all my kids and it's not working for you. Like she hated it. So now what? So that is where I needed to apply my creativity, really go to the Lord in prayer and ask him for wisdom. And then just really kind of think through and talk through with other moms. Okay, what can I do to help her continue to make progress? So our typical homeschool day starts off where we all get up, do our chores, and then come down and have breakfast together. We do our family devotion at breakfast. We review some of our Spanish. And also we're going through some Proverbs that we're memorizing. They're kind of in a question answer format. And that has been really fun to just anchor us for the day. After that, we clean up and everybody goes off, brushes their teeth, maybe. And then we start math. And math is for the older students. It's actually Beast Academy Online, and they do them over here. And they're all independent there. And if they need help, then I can help them sometimes. But then I'm actually with my Form 1 students at that time going through math and reading and spelling. And that is where we are just able to sit down at the table and go through their different work that they need to do. We have been going for a family walk at 10 o'clock. I have been pushing it off till later because it's been chilly. And for me, chilly is below 32 degrees when I need to have a snow pants and a snow jacket in order to get outside. I know I was raised in Florida, so anything below 40 degrees is cold for me. But we get a walk in at some point in the morning. So for the coming semester, I'm actually looking to pare back on how many books I'm requiring for my students to read, because I want for the books that I have, particularly with their science, I'm going to pare down, because I've had, sometimes Charlotte Mason has you do 4 science streams at a time. And we're actually just going to do one. Well, my 13-year-old is going to continue doing chemistry, so he'll have 2. But everybody else will have 1, and then they will have more time to notebook and to do their narration work and to draw diagrams. And I really value that work because that act of reflection is so important for the learning process. When you're reading through something and then just shutting the book and never looking at it again, that's just not how people learn. You have to reflect, you have to think through the material. There is a level of wrestling with it. And what I'm finding as my kids are getting older and are needing kind of to go deeper with material, that my kids have to learn how to do that. Some students, I think, naturally go about that process, but they need more rails and more habits to be laid down for them. So, we're doing narration work, but then I also need to show them how to find the diagrams, what to think about, what to look through, questions. I need to ask them strong questions so that they can then go back into their book and kind of dig a little bit more so that they're making that information their own. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this coming semester, seeing the areas of weakness. I'm still seeing some rushing through their work. And what I think the best solution I've come up with is that I need to create more time that I'm actually sitting with them to do that notebook work, because I had been assigning it as kind of a 15-minute block. Okay, you're going to do your notebook work over here. But then they feel like, well, it's just the assignment. If I just get this assignment done, that I'll be done with my school. So then they rush. But if it's, no, we're spending 20 minutes working on this notebook. I want you to look something up, look up a building from the time period, look up a coat of arms or sword or a boat, whatever it is, or we're going to do a map now. I need to assign that and then give them that time so that they know, okay, well, it doesn't matter. I could just sit here and be bored the whole time, or I could apply myself during this period of time. And that is really that laying down the lines of habit to help show them what is expected. As you all know, homeschooling really challenges us to the very core of who we are. It really forces us to look in the mirror and see, what type of person am I becoming? What type of person am I encouraging my children to be? And I really have struggled this year to want to embrace Charlotte Mason's philosophy, because I feel like it really gives honor to the student and honors the Imago Dei within them. And I want to do well by my God to teach my children good things. I want them to be challenged with their strengths, and I want to really find ways to support them in their weaknesses. And what I'm finding is that it's really easy to get overwhelmed and to feel like I'm not enough, or I'm not doing enough. And it's just, we have way too many things going on, and we're just not going to get to all of them. So it's just resting in the finite nature of, just being a person in this world who we're not going to get to everything, but we can do a few things well, and we can go before the Lord and ask him for help and strength and say, Lord, help me. I need your support to sustain me. And then also asking him for discernment to be able to cut the things that are stressful, or to be able to focus on the things that are really important. and of course their character, who they are, who they're becoming, my own character, who I am, the attitude and the atmosphere that I'm created in my homeschool, right? Those are the things that are really fruitful to focus on. And then, of course, having that life of prayer where we are calling on the Lord for help and support, and just really resting in the goodness that we are able to homeschool our children in this country, and what a gift that is. So if you liked this video, if this was really helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to share about your homeschool journey, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.